Hello from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm going to take you on a walk in the northern part of Myrtle Beach. Not North Myrtle Beach, but the northern part of Myrtle Beach. If you're new to our channel, hi, I'm Carmen. And if you enjoy Myrtle Beach videos and other travel videos like this, be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you won't miss anything new. I wanted to show you where I am. So here are some of the hotels that are in the northern part of Myrtle Beach, then some residential houses. And then I think this is Island Vista Resort. There's no signs on this side, but that's that resort right there. And so we're gonna start walking here and we're gonna walk southbound. So Ocean Boulevard is directly on this side of the screen, on the other side of that hotel. And there are a lot of people here today. I know it doesn't look like it, but this is very, very early in the morning. It's before 9 a.m. And lifeguards are setting up the chairs over there, as you can see. A lot of people ask me how much they cost. The price varies because the chairs are actually owned by independent companies, but they're set up by the City of Myrtle Beach lifeguards. And if you want to find out the price, just ask a lifeguard, like the guy setting up the umbrella right there. They drive these ATVs that you see right there, the blue ATV, and they will be happy to tell you the pricing. And if you don't see a lifeguard, you can just sit down in one of the chairs and they will find you and let you know the pricing. But if you don't want to rent a chair, there are other options if you have a car. Even if you don't have a car, if you're near one of the beach gift shops, a lot of times they have cheap chairs and you can just buy chairs. And then if you don't have a car and you're flying home, you can just dispose of them properly or donate them when you're done. And that will probably save you some money. Or if you have a car, my best advice is go to Walmart here. There is a Walmart at Myrtle Beach. They have all kinds of beach gear. They have way more beach gear than a normal Walmart because of the location. So you can get all kinds of stuff there for the beach. So if you look over here on the right side, that is, or at least my right, is probably your left. Those are cabanas. We have a film driving down Ocean Boulevard where we show these cabanas from the street side. Here's what they look like from the beach side. And so those aren't actual houses, they're cabanas for people that live either across the street or elsewhere to enjoy the beach and have a place to set up. It's a beautiful morning today. There's the sun, so nice. And these storm drains right here, we've talked about this before, but just in case you're new to our channel, if you don't want to swim or hang out in those, they are not clean, not healthy, and sometimes they leave a big pool of water, so you don't want your children playing in those. I've seen people have their children play in those pools thinking it's safer than the ocean, and while that may be for riptide purposes, it's not true for bacteria. So there's a better look at those little cabana houses. Such a great day. So I've already I love walking on the beach, but we talked about this before. We actually don't do our exercise per se on the beach. We actually do that before we come to the beach. So I walked 4 miles this morning, and then I walked the opposite direction I'm going now because I was facing the sun, which does not film well. So somebody's probably gonna leave a message and say that I sound out of breath. It's because I'm walking really fast. This camera is great at stabilizing when I'm walking quickly, but I am walking about as fast as my short little legs will go. So yes, if you hear me breathing, that's normal. It's normal to breathe when you're moving fast. That is a normal thing. And here's some little sandpipers running down the beach. They always crack me up when they're running. They are fast on foot. If you know the exact species, leave us a comment. I know they're in the sandpiper family, but I'm not sure exactly which kind they are. There are a lot of shells this morning. I even saw a broken whelk shell, and if you don't know what a whelk is, it looks sort of like a conch shell, but it's not a conch shell, but similar type of shell. Unfortunately, it was a little bit broken. But yeah, there's a lot of shells this morning. I've seen a lot of people shelling. And also, some of you have asked me where you should stay as far as if you want to avoid crowds. This area is great. As you can see, there's some residential places. There's some low-rise condos over there. And then yes, you have a few high-rise sprinkled in between. So this is, the area I'm walking in is north of 52nd Avenue North, but in Myrtle Beach, not North Myrtle Beach. So this is a good place to stay if you want to avoid crowds. And also, if you can look for these low-rise condos, those are also going to be a less crowded area of the beach, as you can see. And you'll see when we get up here to these high-rise hotels how much more crowded the beach is. Makes a huge difference. I mean, it's just common sense, but it really does help if you can get, and also if you can stay at a big hotel like that one you see right there, the closest one to us, that's near smaller units like this, you can just walk down the beach a little and then you have the beach to yourself like I do right now. So nice. That's pretty cool. That cabana right there has a deck on top of it. That's smart. Sit there and look at this view. That's never gonna get old. So pretty. Take a look at the shells. Hopefully this won't bounce too much as I turn the camera down. These are pieces and parts, but I have seen some pretty decent shells here and there this morning, and there's definitely a lot of people out looking for shells this morning. But yeah, this is so nice. So nice. We just put a video out recently about fall weather at Myrtle Beach, and I've also had people ask me if it's still warm enough to swim. Oh yes, it is warm. Today's heat index is going to hit 100, and the water is still quite warm. It stays, in my opinion, swimmable up into October. I can't tell you the exact date it gets too cold to swim, but and people are different. Some people could probably swim beyond that. I don't like cold, so as soon as the water gets below a certain temperature, I will not be in the ocean. But yeah, it stays quite warm here, and the water actually stays warm longer than the air temperature because it takes a long time for the ocean to cool back down. So you can see, as we get further and further towards these hotels, the amount of people is picking up. And once we get down to the hotels, you'll see there are a lot of people because I've already passed them going the other direction. Now there's some nice cloud cover, but when I was walking the other direction, it was full sun. And I can't film into the sun because you get this starburst effect on the camera, which is not fun for you guys to look at. And we keep it as nice as possible for you and pleasant. So I've already walked all of this the first round. Brian is bodyboarding right now. It's a good day for bodyboarding. As you can see, it's these nice rolling waves, which makes for some really good bodyboarding. And I saw some surfers out as well. I don't know how good this would be for surfing, but I can tell you for bodyboarding, this is a good day. One thing I still wish, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, I really do wish that they would put the hotel names on this side so I could let you know what we're looking at from the other side. But they don't. I'm assuming there's a law against it because I would think these hotels would be advertising if they were allowed to. Also, I know I mentioned we have a video of those cabanas from the street side. I don't know if it's the same exact ones, but we have a video of some of them, and they're in the northern part of Myrtle Beach. I will link to that video above. If I haven't already, I might have done that earlier in the video. But I will definitely link that video so you can see the Ocean Boulevard side of what I'm walking right now. Let's just take a moment and listen to this ocean. Get a little closer. So nice. Back towards the sun. So nice. Hope you enjoyed that. I always do. I love listening to the ocean. It's just the most peaceful, relaxing sound to me. So you can see what I was talking about before. There's low-rise condos, then a high-rise, then a few more low-rise condos, then a high-rise, and then there's literally a few more low-rise after that. So that's what keeps this area not as packed as the more main part of Myrtle Beach where the boardwalk area is, as well as the southern part. And I'll point those out when we get a little closer. I'm walking right now towards the Golden Mile, and I've mentioned that before, but if you're new, the Golden Mile is 1 mile of residential homes on the ocean. So these are typically multi-million-dollar homes, and there are very few people in that area out on the beach. It's usually wide open. And there are a bunch of public beach accesses, so if you're not staying oceanfront, great place to go. And that's usually between, I believe it's, don't quote me, I don't have it in front of me right now, but it's around 31st Avenue North to 52nd Avenue North. But it may even go further down than that. see some of these big hotels between the condos and stuff. People playing in the ocean, such a nice day. It is very hot today, but it is also windy today. And because of that, it doesn't feel so bad. It definitely makes a difference when it's windy. It's much more comfortable. But very, very humid and warm. I'll link to our video about fall weather. We go into quite a bit of detail about that if you're curious. Definitely watch that video. We talk about hurricanes and the likelihood. We talk about the weather, the temperatures, water temperatures, everything. So we cover September, October, and November in that video. And we also have videos on the weather for all 4 seasons as well. If you're interested in those, just go to our channel and search for Myrtle Beach weather, and all those videos will come up. Lots of birds out this morning. There's a bunch of seagulls. So nice. These days like this, I wish I could just bottle. And while I do love the off season here at Myrtle Beach, it's just so peaceful and nice. I am a warm weather person. I like the warm weather. Don't get me wrong, I love the moderate months. The like shoulder months are great, but I'm not a huge fan of winter. I like hanging out here in the winter because it's not as cold. The ocean, you know, like right on the beach, of course, is chilly, but around town it's not that cold. Almost all this year may be different, of course, because a lot of things are different this year, but pretty much all the entertainment except maybe a few rides stay open year round. So there's tons to do here in the winter, and everything is not as crowded, of course. I mean, I think some of my favorite trips we've had have been in January and February because you just kind of have everything to yourself. It's kind of nice. Spring break hasn't started yet. We also love the holiday season here. There's lots of great decorations around Christmas, and those go up typically around Thanksgiving, sometimes before, but mostly around Thanksgiving. You've got Festival of Trees at Ripley's, although we don't know if they'll have it this year. I assume they will because the aquarium's open. But, you know, like I said, things are different this year. And Broadway always decorates really nicely. It's just nice seeing all the Christmas decorations. It's hard to think about Christmas when it's still this hot, but it's coming fast. So here's some more of the low rises between the big hotels, and then you have these tall hotels right here. And so that's another pattern you'll notice. When I talked about the rental chairs, you can see they're coming up here again. And that's another thing to look for. If you want to use the rental chairs, you're going to need to go to a place where there's hotels, because now that's not entirely true. Sometimes there are places where, I'm having a little zigzag issue here. Sometimes there are places where they put up the umbrellas and they're not hotels, but typically you're going to find them in front of the hotels because they know that's where the people are. I mean, it makes sense. They know that's where they're going to get the most activity. So if you are not staying oceanfront and you want to rent chairs, you might want to drive to a public beach access that's near the hotels to find some chairs to rent. And one little tip too, you see where those people are over there? That's a public beach access. There's that sign right there. And unfortunately, I can't read it from here. My eyes aren't that good, but maybe 54th. It's hard to see from there. It probably is 54th because we're about at the right place for that. It'd be roughly close, but my point is if you need to find where you came in, there are those signs that tell you the cross street. So Ocean Boulevard is the one running parallel to the way I'm walking, but then there's cross streets, and those signs will tell you where you came in at. So be sure to take note of that, especially if you're going to go walking, and know where you started. So as you can tell, more people as we get down to where the hotels are. What's funny is when I came by the first time, there were even more people out here. I guess a lot of people out getting their exercise this morning. It is a stunning day, I'll tell you that. It is so nice. And I'm loving this breeze, love it. When is your next trip to Myrtle Beach? Leave us a comment. Are you coming this fall? Or are you not coming until next year? Let us know. We are huge fans of the fall here because it's basically just like the summer with less people. It's still awesome to swim in the early fall, September, part of October. Less people, it's perfect. I'll be curious to see what this fall's like there, to see if we have more people because of a lot of people doing online school and working from home. Just see if more people come to the beach in the fall. Be interesting. Because you can do school remotely from the beach, in theory. I don't know how effective that would be, but it's doable. People enjoying the beach. Some more shells here, lots more shells. Mostly pieces and parts, but it's always fun to look for that perfect shell. We have a whole jar of shells at home where we've collected them over the years. And we have some really nice ones on display that we found. It's fun looking. There's a better look at those hotels. Some people out on their balcony enjoying this beautiful morning. And that guy's putting his own umbrellas up. And this is a tip. If you're going to put your own umbrella up, especially on a windy day like this, be sure you have an umbrella anchor. You can buy those at Walmart, probably elsewhere, and you just screw them down into the sand and they will keep your umbrella from blowing over. Because on a day like this, it can definitely blow over. So people have asked me, can you drive on the beach? No, that is a lifeguard. You can tell it says lifeguard, but also the police will drive on the beach and city maintenance workers will drive on the beach, and that's it. That's pretty much the only people you'll see driving on the beach, and usually their vehicles are marked so you know what they are. The police do patrol the beach in their trucks, and they are keeping an eye on things beachside, which is great. That's also another tip. You typically will not see lifeguards set up on the Golden Mile. So we're just ending, this last hotel is the end, and that begins the Golden Mile right past, and I don't mean ending the video. Video is still going, I'm just talking about ending this hotel row right here. So this is, you know, up from the main strip, Myrtle Beach strip, and then beginning the Golden Mile. So right there, that's probably the last lifeguard we'll see anytime soon. And so straight ahead you see those hotels way down there, and I don't know if you can see the sky. Well, I can see it with my naked eye, but I don't know if it'll show up on the camera. That is main hotel row, or the main strip of Myrtle Beach. So it starts on the north end, like I said, around 31st, 32nd, somewhere in there, and then goes down to the boardwalk and then goes way down beyond that. And we did a video of walking that section of that hotel row section down to the boardwalk. I'll link that above. You can check that out for contrast. Definitely way more high-rise hotels in that section. And so those orange seats right there, that is a lifeguard chair. And he does have the red flag out, which is a warning flag. Means there's a potential for riptides or other strong currents. So it's definitely a day you want to be careful. Doesn't mean you can't swim, just means you have to be careful. So you see another red flag over there, that public beach access, to let people know. One thing I haven't seen a lot of is jellyfish this year. Usually by this time of the year, you're starting to really see them wash up on the beach. And I haven't seen any this year. If you have, leave us a comment. I think one of our viewers said you've seen jellyfish. I have not seen any this year, which I'm pretty happy about. I've been stung before, it's not fun. So I usually won't get in the water if I see a jellyfish washed up on the beach. Usually where there's one, there's more. So you can see all of a sudden, so you know, people. Again, it's early, so that's, you're gonna say, oh, it's not that crowded. And then you come down here and you have a lot more space to yourself. Really nice. And so this is the Golden Mile. This is the northernmost part of the Golden Mile. So there's 52nd, as I mentioned. That's what that little sign there says. So you got these giant houses, and then you'll see some modest houses as well, but don't let those fool you. Those are still, the lots alone I think are worth $1 million. Don't quote me, I don't know exactly, but they're worth a lot. I mean, oceanfront property is expensive. And so you'll see that a lot. We actually passed when we were driving this morning. People will buy those more modest homes and then just tear them down and build a mansion and replace them, and that we keep seeing that happen over and over again. Also, what's a walk on the beach if you don't at least get your feet in the water? Let's do it. So nice. Feels so, so good. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now and click subscribe so you won't miss anything new. Thanks so much for watching. Until our next adventure.